Peace FM 104.3. Who to meet
your PhD studies.
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes, family.
PhD studies.
Yes.
In Kasoa.
So Kasoa was a study area.
And but your boy and come on, I didn't know who here.
Okay. So my studies was basically, on what we call socio-spatial analysis of crime patterns.
Socio-spatial analysis of crime patterns.
Yes. And now the intention is now we how crime compared to different places over time. So I decided to look at Kasoa and 5 other areas. In fact, Ashtown, Apeusika, Asinodomasi, and Yinesusu. I was just trying to compare urban and rural areas and to see. So I had to come to Kasoa, to live in Kasoa for about 3 months, just to observe the place, how these criminal activities operate. In fact, on my studies now me use a theory, your friend is social disorganization theory. And now what the theory, basically I can say, if a particular area there is high population density and now there is residential instability, that is says there are people moving up and down over that area. And I say population now on it does. And I say other issues, say family distractions over that area. It patterns the kind of crime. So I have to come and live in Kasoa just to observe those variables.
Into Kasoa 3 months.
Yes, for 3 months. In fact, I was living in Kasoa High Tension, then Akweli, all those areas where I was studying. In fact,
yes,
the dynamics that operate in Kasoa are quite interesting. And for me, as a criminologist and a crime researcher, the police and our security agencies now have to take a lot of precautionary measures when it comes to Kasoa. For instance, I heard one of your panelists say Kasoa, people keep moving in and out. It's true. And now when you look at issues of residential instability now, Kasoa lies between Greater Accra and Central.
Yes. And
so you see a lot of the crimes that happen there, we call them transitory crimes.
Crimes, yeah.
Yes, people in Kasoa or in a Greater Accra can move in and go and do something and come back, and people in Cape Coast can also move in, go and do something and go back. So it is a perfect handout for criminals to operate because the area is such transitory that they can just pass through, do whatever they want to do and move on. In fact, I analyzed 13 crimes, including murder, robberies, in fact, rape, and all those things. And out of the 13 crimes, Kasoa recorded 10 as the highest area with those kind of crimes.
Wow.
In fact, out of the 13 crimes. For instance, when you even check the police data, with what I found personally, based on my interviews with people, you realize that a lot of those crimes that happen in Kasoa are not even recorded by the police. So what it means is that in criminology, we call something dark figure of crimes. So there's a lot of dark figure of crimes where these crimes, the police don't even know about them. I even heard what Alotenikov is saying right now. Say, there are so many people who have been buried there. In fact, if the police should begin to do a sweep up of Kasoa, trust me, they will find a lot of crimes that have gone on in Kasoa they are not even aware.
Wow.
Okay, so when you talk about Kasoa, there's some areas even within Kasoa that if it's 8 p.m., trust me, you will never be able to pass through that area in Kasoa. Because there are certain elements, in fact, I call them gangsters. Okay, these guys have created boundaries for themselves within the area and they exert their own street laws. So it's like at this point in time, we control this area. And now, until we give you the permission to pass, you cannot pass. In fact, most of the interviews I even did with people when I was there were actually people who were committing crimes even as we were doing the interviews. I mean, people were on drugs. As I was even talking to them, these guys will be smoking their weed and all those kind of things. Sometimes you have to even try to even tip them before they will come and they begin to tell you things. And the most sad aspect of it is that when you even want to talk to the police, it's very difficult. Kwame.
Are the police before no?
Very, very difficult.
Are they cooperative and
Kwame, you know, our system works sometimes. I wouldn't want to break them. They also have their own structural constraints. I mean, as a service. Yes. But I think it should be more up and doing. In fact, in my studies, some of the writers I do, I indicated that, look, Kasoa is a time bomb waiting to explode. And therefore, it is very, very, very important that our security agencies now, they begin to re-strategize, okay, and try to deploy more resources in crime fighting and containment within the Kasoa enclave, especially because of where Kasoa lies. And the fact that many people are able to commit transitory crimes in between and then leave. And also, many people who live in Kasoa actually don't even live there. They move in between. So there's a high residential instability that goes in there.
So let me ask you, Doctor, who lives in Kasoa? Maybe besides same way because also a transitory crime area. Enti ebitimi ba be di ho be tehwa no makodi bone no maba no masan yera. Enti ye kasa Kasoa se ne akotra ho ye research ne ade na. Why not Kasoa?
Look, Kasoa basically, inside Alote was telling you a history about how the population has overshot itself. In fact, in the 80s, Kasoa had a very, small population size. However, within the 90s, there was an explosion within the area where people from different areas, in fact, there are even more foreigners, especially from the West African sub-region, who come and live in Kasoa. And for them, what they do is that during the day, sometimes they come and live there. During the night, they move out.
So how come over time, we've just let it happen? I used an expression, sprouting and sprawling. How come over time we've allowed it to sprout and sprawl and nobody has done anything? What happened?
Kwame, it's because in this country, generally, we don't monitor changes that happen in the country over time. Okay, it's like things are left to happen as it is. There is no clear planning and thinking into the future about structuring our cities. Okay, and now in my studies, basically it's about spatial planning, how the structure of places can pattern crimes. So you see that with time, if the authorities decide to structure our communities, to start to pay more attention to how our society is organized and our communities are organized, we can be able to contain how people even behave within the communities and to be able to police crime. If we don't do that and we just allow it, that people can just move in. For instance, if you come to Kumasi, Ashtown, now look at Ashtown is planned. People come in. Ashtown is also closer to Central Market. And now people move in, they come and do trade. By the time you realize they are living in Ashtown. Okay, people move in, and we are not able to monitor people's movement over time. And now, what happens is that at the end of the day, we have people that we cannot even account for living among us. They can come in and commit crime, and then within some few minutes, they are off and they leave.
Doctor, let me ask you my very final question in connection with Kasoa. You kept mentioning a time bomb. Now, based on your research, based on having stayed there or lived there for a while, is this time bomb you're talking about, can it be diffused or would it explode?
Kwame.
Yes, sir.
To be very, very honest with you, it is a difficult, I don't know how to put it, but it is very difficult to unravel. Because you see, we left the problem to fester for long. Okay, there are a lot of these crimes that are committed by foreigners. I don't want to personalize the nationality. Okay, in Kasoa. Yes. And now, how do we control, for instance, the movement of people within that area? Yes, are authorities ready to do that? That is a question all of us will have to answer. Can we also prevent people from settling in Kasoa? In terms of the population density, population control, can we do that? So these are the kind of questions, Kwame, we have to keep asking ourselves and keep demanding answers from our authorities, from our city planners, and from our law enforcement agencies. Because you see, as a society develops, okay, there are more crime opportunities that are created. Okay, so always once there are crime opportunities, there are crime targets.
Yeah.
So as the society keeps on moving, the community keeps on changing, it is important that the security agencies are aware of the changes and then begin to map up and deploy crime control and mapping resources that will match up to the way the community is changing.
Do you think we're afraid of starting xenophobia, and that's why you don't want to talk about a particular group of people?
I know, Kwame, from whatever I've said, you know where I'm just trying to...
I know where you're going, but
I
know, because we've been told to be cautious, not to be xenophobic.
Exactly.
But we know the truth.
If you know the truth,
it is staring us in the face. So what do we do?
Exactly, Kwame. That's the question. Because you see, the security agencies, they know. Trust me, they know. From the interactions I have with the people. In fact, I was not even surprised when I heard one of the boys had actually been dismissed from school for raping. Look, it's a crime that is very common in Kasoa.
Rape?
Yes, defilement. Very, very common there.
Defilement is common?
Very, very common. Okay? It is something very common. But as I said, most of these things have that figures. Okay? The police don't even get to even know them. But they are happening there. So, Kwame, it's a complex knob that we have to untie, sorry.
Anyway.
And I don't know how we are going to do that.
Well,
we can do that.
I'll keep you in the loop and look for you, and every now and again we'll come and tap into your research.
That'll be fine, Kwame. I always be on standby.
I appreciate that. Thank you very
much. Thank you so
much
for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thanks a lot to Dr. Jones Opoku Ware. Is a criminologist and a crime researcher.
Peace FM 104.3. Good to meet you.